they were supposed to be living in foolish paradise. And they were joked, they were mocked, but it was a voice reinforced by their belief, reinforced by the revealed knowledge. And I have seen that since then, how it has grown, how it has taken a shape. Those were the stalwarts, those were the pioneers, those were the chief architects of this revolution of social justice, of Islamic economics, of Islamic banking. And I could see their enthusiasm. I could see they were in mature years. They were experienced in the world of finance, world based upon interest. And they were crying for a change. They could see the crisis looming in the horizon. So, ladies and gentlemen, my mind goes back to it. And I feel that there is a challenge still out there. And yes, we have taken small steps. Yes, there are success stories. Yes, now there are central banks regulating it, accepting it, acknowledging it, giving it a shape. The mechanics are being improved and refined. There are good amount of scholarly research going into it. There is research and feedback coming from the institutions geared to Islamic banking. All of that has taken a momentum, and all of that has become a magnet, because recent series of financial crises, endless financial crises of various forms, is going to draw the attention of even secular-minded professional bankers towards Islamic banking. So it is need of the hour. We are lagging behind. We haven't done what was required to do. We are still shy of going all out for Islamic economics. Our progress and our rate of improvement is very slow. So I would like to draw the attention of whoever is here. There are students doing research. There are teachers teaching about Islamic economics. There are bankers, there are scholars, there are jurists here. That we all, as stakeholders, have to come together and now build the momentum and take it to 90%, as rightly said by Dr. Hasan Sohaib. So this is what we need to do. We need to marshal our resources, mobilize our talent, and focus upon it wholeheartedly, not as an add-on, not as a window, not just as a patch in the landscape of finance and banking. If it is even 1 point something trillion or $2 trillion, or going to be 5, the world of finance is about $100+ billion. We have only 1 or 2%. What is that? So it is time that we take aggressive steps forward. And I have experienced it. I have been talking to people in finance and banking, and thinking about how to transform it. We haven't yet transformed it. We have adopted. This is a kind of adaptation that we're going through. This is a kind of hybrid system. We are in the mode of evolution, yes. I value the steps that we have taken. I value the change of direction. I value the things that are positive, and I'm optimistic. But still, I would call it an adaptation. I wouldn't call it a transformation. I wouldn't call it a wholehearted movement in the right direction. This is not what I could feel and I could sense reading about Islamic economics. And this is why my one concern, that within this Islamic finance, we need to focus again in the domain of Islamic economics. Islamic finance is based upon the philosophy the ideologies, themes, and principles of Islamic economics. And we need to get back to Islamic economics and rehearse and refresh ourselves with that, with the lessons. I feel, as I said, I've been talking to people about it. I've talked to SMA Ashraf, who was the first to introduce Islamic finance instruments in National Investment Trust, NIT, in 1980s, late 80s. I've talked to Dr. Ishaq Hussain, who was the first. When there was talk of enlightened moderation, he was bold enough and courageous enough as the head of the Central Bank to introduce and to propose to General Musharraf that why don't we regulate it and why don't we start it. And that was the start of the nationwide Islamic banking, full-fledged Islamic banking. So we need to first, I would just like to remind ourselves that how can we be successful? Number one, Islamic finance and banking is based upon God-fearing attitude, God-pleasing attitude, God-abiding attitude. If we miss that, and if we are looking at the bottom line, and if we are looking at here and there and other things, it won't work. So it is laden, and it is latent, and it is carved in God-fearing attitude. That it is to please Allah, first of all. It is to respond to the call of Allah. And it is to align yourself with the power and sovereignty of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is the first. If we miss that, nothing is going to happen. If we are driven by the greed, and if we are comparing the rates today of the commercial bank and Islamic bank, and then making an attitude, oh, for that Islamic bank I have to sacrifice this 1% of the commercial bank and go to Islamic bank and put pressures on these officers of Islamic banking that look, I'm here to compromise. I'm sacrificing that 1% that I would have gotten from the commercial bank. So this kind of attitude, and if the officers too are entrenched in their mind with the realm of commercial banking, and now posing as an officer of Islamic banking, it won't succeed unless there is a drastic change in that attitude. So God-fearing, God-pleasing, God-abiding. So I have found this is the key. This is the starting point. Second, as very rightly pointed out by again Dr. Saqib and Mr. Khalil Rahman as well, Islamic finance and Islamic economics, to my mind, is about society, the growth of society, the trust within society, collaborative actions, networks, sincerity, mutual kindness. So it is about mutual sincerity. So I find that the purpose of Islamic banking as such is not to give loan or take loan. It is to help people achieve prosperity together, co-determination, co-prosperity, mutual sincerity and kindness, mutual support and help. This is what it is all about. So unless that philosophy is not there, and this philosophy can take root, it is highly profitable to exercise mutual kindness in terms of the bottom line profit. I can talk about it. It is highly profitable to be selfless and yet be there and achieve more. So it is something like that. It is business concern, it is entity, enterprise, it is profit, it is survival, it is competition, yes, but then it is also collaboration, it is trust, it is sincerity, it is mutual kindness and reciprocity. Third, one of the first verse of Quran is الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيُقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. The people who spend, that's how we translate it. But watch out. This رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ is guarded by, number one, the advice in the Quran that indulgence is not right. Israf is not right. Excessive indulgence is not right. Excessive expenditure is not right. Second, tabzeer. That God is not friendly with those who spend in wrong headings. It might be useful or it might be right. It is not maybe haram, but it is not very well liked, appreciated. So the minimum is guarded by israf on the one hand and tabzeer on the other hand. Then if it is so, then what is left? It is about investment, I feel. Because otherwise, expenditure to live by remains very little. So it is about investment. It is about targeted growth. And so I found the word that now the word yunfiqun in fact has special meanings. And sadaqat has special meanings. Zakat has special meanings. So this is where Islamic banking and finance must evolve and must find new ways to grow. There is tremendous infaq going on. And there is all along, people helping others. It has to be institutionalized. That private activity and private work can be institutionalized and can offer better, safer transactions. Fourth, my submission is that if it is about society, then it will refrain from destructive growth, short-sighted, destructive growth. GNP growth, inflation growth, consumption growth, production growth, consumer growth, all of that modern day marketing and selling is all about. We have to guard ourselves from that. So Islamic banking and finance is a responsible investment, is a responsible transaction, is accountable. So it will automatically safeguard us from that vein of destructive growth. Fifth, it will save us from financial crisis. Right? If the total value of world assets is about $200 trillion, the total value of financial instruments playing around on the basis of that real asset is about 2,200 times that. So where it is heading, you can judge for yourself. So Islamic bank, the basic principles of financial Islamic banking will save us from that. Sixth is entrepreneurship. Islamic finance and banking is about entrepreneurship. The guy who walks out with clean hands, with clean slate, clear life so far, with no background, no business profile, is also a diamond, maybe a dynamite, is something not to be rejected, not to be shown the gate, but to be encouraged, to be interacted with. So entrepreneurship is something that requires Islamic finance, because here we have all the benefits that we can offer to those entrepreneurs. Now, lastly, I would like to also suggest that there was a comment on the Sharia scholars. I would like to suggest that we need, instead of having one Sharia advisor being paid by the bank, we can have about 100 Sharia advisors recognized, certified, and paid by the central bank. And central bank gets something from the banks overall. So that Sharia advisors are there, and banks, whoever needs Sharia advisors, approaches central bank, and central bank then finds a person who can deal with that. Or we have, instead of single person, we have Sharia bureaus. We have Sharia advocacy in the form of bureaus, counselors, so that there is a practice, there is collective memory, and there is collective responsibility, instead of having just one person. So that can improve the quality of Sharia advisor, and it can also help bridge between the management who is running it and conducting the affairs and the Sharia advisors who are reference and a source for their decision making. I would like to also draw the attention of the central bank on the intermediary and low-level Islamic finance. Because right now, that is missing. We have Islamic finance leading banks. In order to set up an Islamic bank, you need to have about 10 billion rupees. If you want to promote it in streets, in residential areas, in bazaars, in mosques, and in where traders are, where markets are, I think we need to promote a mechanism where intermediary level of financial institutions working around the principles of Islamic finance found a way to live, to initiate their activity and survive without being gobbled by the big players. So we need to protect them. They don't have the support of the lender of the last resort at the moment. Since I am also heading in Mudarba, so I have experienced that it's a tremendous institution. It has elasticity. It can scale up to 100 million rupees. There is nothing that stops it from doing it. But it has no support of the lender of the last resort. So that is restricting it, narrowing it down, and that is not helping it, while the banks, having the support of the lender of the last resort, earn the trust and gets the deposits and moves on. So they are locked jam. They have no way to grow, progress. Because they are pretty much on the secured only to the extent that the equity sponsors have, provided for in the form of equity. So I believe that this thinking should go on. It is very challenging area, very exciting. It is the highest form of worship. It is to provide the leadership to the world. The future leadership of the world will be in the hands of those who will introduce to the world a system based upon societal happiness, everlasting happiness, societal justice, and reduce the occurrence of this crisis and an encroachment of assets and whatever society has earned periodically. Thank you very much, Mr. Rahman, for being with us. It is an honor to receive you at UMT. You have made the historical decision. I pray and hope that your decision remains the guideline for the future jurists. Your name will forever be in the jurists of Islam who have taken the bold step of not just making a decision, but making that decision based upon exhaustive and extensive research. And that is what distinguishes you. I thank all the guests and I thank you all.